You're live. Rotate device. Fine. I'll be fucking portrait mode, bastards. I didn't want to be portrait. So tonight's topic, alcoholism, social experiment number 4. While, tent side. Oops, that's cardboard.
Where's the lid?
Lid's on the other side of the tent. We don't need the lid right now.
Oh, I just don't need the security calling the fire department.
Oh, that's a good point. As even if I can reach it. Here, you start tonight's topic. Nobody is viewing. Bye. Ooh. Gimme. No, I want you to get up and bring me my phone. I'm sorry, we're no longer throwing our phones. These are brand new phones. So social experiment number 4, tonight's topic, alcoholism. One of my viewers, Jamie G, shout out to you, ended up wanting to hear about this topic. And I do apologize, I am a recovering alcoholic. Or a recovered alcoholic, my apologies. Oh yeah, and I wanted to update you guys on my little baby too. Look at how she's doing. Got a little bit of water in the bottom, so then she basically has to reach. I'm wanting her roots to grow as long as they can. But there she be. She's doing really good. But yes, tonight's, like I said, social experiment number 4. And, I need to grab a knife. Where's one at? Where at? Hopping in our home real quick. There they are. Ding. So how's everybody's evening going? What y'all smoking on tonight? Ow, fuck. Babe. Can you get up? Ding. There's that. Thank you. And I forgot to close the gate down there too. Oh, and I wanted the grate on. Zinc, link. Oh. So tonight we are doing Philly cheesesteak style sausages for dinner. The last of our charcoal is being used. Shit, that's right, I'm portrait mode. Son of a bitch. I'll show those here in just a sec. So yeah, this is what we're having for dinner tonight, as well as with tonight's topic. It's so delicious. My opinion on alcoholism, though, well, I'm a stoner. Weed's safer than alcohol. Weed is definitely safer than alcohol. That's all I got to say about alcohol, basically. Also, though, with alcoholism, too, is that, well, I noticed that about my attitude, it was making it worse when I was drinking a lot. My stepdad was abused as a child because his father was an alcoholic. Yeah, if you don't mind, please.
So, let's see. There it is. So, what I've heard and seen about alcoholism in anybody, male, female, doesn't matter. You know, all the stories I hear is they get drunk, they pass out in back alleys, they get belligerent, they get mean, spiteful, vengeful. people become abusive to their families, to friends, or anybody around them. You know, there's multiple different types of drunks. There's the mean and spiteful drunk, the violent drunk, the happy-go-lucky drunk, the sexual drunk. You know, the list goes on.
There's
But-
the beer guy. Everybody's heard of that guy, right? Hey! No.
Shout out to Fluffy for that one.
Yep. Definitely shout out to Fluffy.
But, you know, in the end, majority of the cases you hear of are abusive, violent drunks. Alcohol not only increases your blood sugar level, but it also harms your immune system. It kills your kidneys eventually.
What do you say, 4 each? 4 each for us?
You know, it doesn't really matter. Drinking shouldn't be something you do heavy, even if you have problems. It should be, you know, used for, you know, stress relief. Maybe a glass of wine with dinner, or maybe a cocktail or two after work. Granted, as long as you're either walking or taking a cab home after work.
Or an Uber or a bus.
Bus, yeah. Other transportation than your own vehicle. If you're gonna,
Or you have a DD.
designated driver.
Always have a designated driver whenever you go out drinking, whether you're an alcoholic or you just like to go out and have party nights with the guys or the girls.
Tell them how hard it is to get over being an alcoholic.
How hard it is getting over being an alcoholic? It's hard. It really is. The relapses that you can go through, the cravings, you know, I mean, shit.
Tell them about your New Year's experiment that you went, or not experiment per se, but
my
your New Year's
experience
fix.
down in Missouri.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. It was my New Year's experience 2010 was down in Missouri. Over at my buddy's house for New Year's going into 2011. I was only 20 years old. I told them that I just got done from being quit off the pot for like a month, you know, which I really wish I would have just kept smoking pot. But with that as well, it's just, let's see, 2/5 of Jack Daniels, 2/5 of Jägermeister, 12 Bud Lights, and 6 Smirnoff Black Ices. I don't remember anything after taking the last sip of the Jägermeister, but supposedly I kept on drinking. But then after that, it got to a point to where I literally had to have a 5th of Southern Comfort every single day from when I woke up to when I went to bed. That's when I knew I had a problem.
But like most alcoholics, before that, you didn't want to admit you had a problem.
Exactly.
You think, no, my drinking isn't, you know, that bad. I'm not drinking enough to make me violent or have me hurt anybody physically or emotionally.
But in actuality, you are. Now that those are on the grill.
Doesn't matter how much you drink. Eventually, at one point or another, you're going to end up hurting somebody, whether it's physically, emotionally, or otherwise.
Okay. Now, mind you, I don't know. Would that be all right if I went over to the dispensary? Hold the phone. Or yeah, you can. Trying to figure out on if I'm going to have enough to even go over to the dispensary to get a gram.
You still have some, though, right?
No, I'm out. Because every single time I woke up in the middle of the night to pee, I ended up taking a hit or two before falling back to sleep. And that's what helped me stay asleep for longer than 2 fucking hours.
Yeah, 15.
15? Okay. Then do you have any silver?
In my wallet.
Okay, well, question for you. Would you mind going and getting that real quick? Is that alright?
10 for smokes. Or are you going to do 11?
Huh?
For smokes. 10 or 11?
I'm going to be going cheap this time around. Sorry, I have to.
No, that's fine.
Tomorrow I'm probably going to end up having to change over at the game. Don't give me that yet. I'm not going to the store yet. We have cigarettes for right now.
Yeah.
That's another addiction I'm trying to get over.
Nicotine.
Yeah. Can I have one, please? You little son of a bitch. Awesome. Fucking bug. Thank you.
Is that freaky?
But yeah, food's a cooking. It's gonna probably be, let's say 30 minutes until they're done.
Thereabouts, yeah.
Roughly, because of how little charcoal we had. But
Back to the topic at hand.
Safeco Field, CenturyLink, la di da da. But yeah, like the wife said, back to the topic at hand. Oh, which I have something for you, by the way. I have something for you, by the way. Because your nickname's Black Cat. You kicked me right. Oh,
Do you want to split that one or smoke it yourself?
smoke it to myself. I'm sorry. Yeah. Sure. That is not gonna work. That is not gonna work. No!
You know, another thing to
Can you grab those
add
off for me?
with this topic is how becoming homeless for a lot of people can cause people to become alcoholics.
Yeah.
Or even the reverse. How alcoholism actually caused people to become homeless.
Yeah, because everybody's just one paycheck away from being on the streets. And I technically do have weed left. It's the rosin chips, but that just burns way too hot. And I think I still have a little bit in your vaporizer. Ooh, yeah, they are. Do you want to check them real quick?
No, because we just put them on. We're going to leave them be.
I can hear them sizzling.
Honestly, there's not too much to talk about alcoholism.
No, there's really not.
You know, granted, you've gotten one account firsthand from the horse's mouth. But, you know, coming from a person who watched her mother after my grandmother passed away, my mother decided to go on a drinking binge one night and get drunk because she was so depressed. Depression, yes, can cause to alcoholism. But I ended up waking up. I was only about, let me see, it was 2004, so
Here, we'll just split this one.
I was around maybe 15, 16 at the time. And my grandma passed away and my mom wasn't handling it too well. She took a lot of her anger out on me, you know, and close friends. And then one night she decided to go to a restaurant / bar that we frequented. I grew up in. Not just that, but that evening she didn't come home. She was at the bar And I'm like, okay, well, come home safe. Next thing I know, she's coming home in a cab from the hospital with a bandage on her head.
It's sad to say it's a sad story, but it's also a funny story. And the reason why I say it's a sad story is because your mom's not here to tell it. You know, God rest her soul. You know, but it's also funny because of how she told it.
Yeah. You know, but she gets home. I go, where the hell have you been acting like a parental figure to my own mother? And she says, don't take that tone with me, young lady. I just got back from the hospital. Now, where's the car? And I called down to the bar that she was at. The car was still parked out front. And I said, the car's down there, but you're going to sober up first because you're still a little bit drunk. Get her sobered up. She gets dressed in some different clothing and decides to, you know, say, okay, we're going to walk down to get the car. Well, we walk down to get the car, and my mom, when we get down there, shows me what happened and why she has a bandage on her head. She got a little too drunk, stumbled out of the bar, tripped over a piece of square concrete that was sticking up because of the tree root. She tripped over that, bounced off a tree, and hit her head on somebody's fender of their car. Not one of the plastic fenders, mind you, a old school metal fender.
Steel.
And knocked herself out. And that's how she ended up coming home in a cab. Now that we were down there and she explained all that to me, you know, I went in, made sure she had paid for her tab because they knew me. They allowed me into the bar just to inquire about that. Got back outside because they had her keys. And I said, all right, now, do you want me to drive or are you going to try and drive? She said, give me the keys, I'm going to drive. I said, okay, but the first time you swerve, we're pulling over and I'm driving. She said, okay, what happened? She swerved all the way home. Granted, at the time, we still had cops that we knew on the police force, and one of them ended up following us home, making sure that my mom and me got there safe. Granted, they stopped after we got pulled into our parking spot in front of our house and said, Ruthie, don't you ever do that again. She turns around and tells the cop to shut up, and she's going to bed.
Yep. Now let's check on dinner real quick, see how it's done. 'Cause I hear it sizzling. Woo! Time to flip them. I'm needing a knife. Pop.
Yeah, it looks like they need to be, the outer ones need to go into the middle.
That's looking yummy. Should say like another 10 minutes?
Yeah, thereabouts.
You want to know something really hilarious too, is that the wife actually pointed this out. If you look at this piece of rock right there, that looks like a pile of dog shit. But what that is
It's nothing more than a rock.
nothing more than a rock. But it literally looked like a pile of shit. And we were trying not to step on it all day yesterday. Oh. And it is hot here in Seattle today. It got up to 84 degrees for a high today. 84 degrees.
And that's highly unusual,
especially in May.
Yeah, for May here in Seattle. Usually it's still really chilly, and it doesn't usually get to these temperatures until late June, early July. So we're in for a hot summer this year, which means there's going to be a lot more alcoholics, a lot more drunk drivers and accidents.
Yep.
You know?
That's what also increases the drinking too for people who do drink on a daily basis is the heat.
because they sweat and they think alcohol is gonna, you know, give them back the fluids that they lost. What they don't realize is no, water does that, Gatorades do that, you know, sports drinks, stuff like that will rehydrate you, but alcohol actually doesn't hydrate you.
Yeah.
It dehydrates you.
So
it's just like drinking salt water.
Yep. Always remember, guys, stay away from the alcohol. It dehydrates you. It doesn't hydrate you like a lot of people think.
Always have a bottle of water with you at
Always
all
have
times.
bottled water at all times, especially in this heat. And that's coming from a water diabetic. Ooh, that's another topic that we have to get on one of these days. Water diabetes is a real thing. That one, if you guys are wanting to hear about it, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up and go ahead and put a comment below saying that you're wanting to hear about water diabetes, because that is something that I have and I've had to live with for the last 14 years. So if you guys want to hear about it and what happened and what I have to do about it, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that sub button. Definitely hit that bell.
Also, make sure you drink at
Plenty
least
of
a gallon of water a day. Granted, that may seem like a lot of water, but if you space it out from morning until night, you'll be perfectly fine.
Yeah, but with me on water diabetes, so that's, like I said, a whole nother topic.
Yep, that's for another time.
All right, everybody, this is Token Smurf and Black Cat, and we'll talk to you all later.